So I've been selling a lot of coins here on Reddit lately, and people ask me all the time, why don't I take pictures and post the photographs of a lot of these coins? And to me, it seems kind of pointless to take a picture of like a $1 Indian head penny and go through all the process of making sure it looks right and this and that and the other, especially when the bulk of these coins that I'm selling for this estate are in 2x2 flips, which means they have a sheet of thin plastic over the coin which reflects light, and it just makes it impossible to take good photographs. So I got real pissed off at it, and I thought, you know what? If I can figure this out, then maybe I'll be able to take better pictures and sell some of my own coins and give people a better idea of what they're getting on some of this higher dollar stuff. But the problem I usually run into, aside from the shine on the plastic itself, is actually the shine from the coins, from the lighting, and then being able to automate the task because I've got a lot of coins to sell. I've been selling these coins since late March, I think, and I know I've sold over $250,000 worth of coins. So imagine trying to take pictures of all of those. But anyways, I wanted to find a way that I could automate a lot of this, but also standardize a lot of this. So first thing I thought is, if these things are coming to me in these 2x2 flip holder boxes, well, maybe I can find a way to stabilize the end of one of these boxes so that I could put a coin inside it, and then that would hold it steady, and then I could have basically like almost like a little easel to hold the coin on. And so what I did, and you can see in this picture here, is I actually took a one of these flip boxes that these 2x2 flips come in, and I cut the end off of it. And then from there, you can see I actually put it on a little plastic easel. I got a loop there for scale and a Morgan next to it. And from that point, I taped it, thoroughly taped it so that it is not moving. Now that easel is attached to the cardboard end of the box. And you can see one of these flips fits in there nice and perfect, nice and snug. But now I need to stabilize the easel. So I cut apart the rest of the box, just cut it open like that. As you can see, I cut the walls down, and so it just scoots up in there, and I made a little platform for the easel to stand on. And then I taped the easel to the box. And the name of the game here is stability. You want everything to be rock solid, not able to move. So if you'll notice, I taped it from a couple different angles, and then to give the box itself added stability, I covered it in tape. And now we need to find a way to attach our camera to our little platform that we've made. And the best way I could think to do that is with the top of a banker's box. So if you look here, you'll notice that it's fit snugly right in the side of there, and it's long enough that I can actually put my camera down inside the box too. Here's some different angles of it. What I realized I would run into, though, is it would block the viewfinder, the digital viewfinder on the camera. So I've cut the end off of the box, and then I tape the platform itself to the box. So now, if I put a coin inside there and then put my camera down in there, you can see very well the view that the camera itself has. And I can use the digital zoom to zoom it in and out, and basically take a good picture. Now it's not straight on. There is a slight lean back to the coin itself, and there's a reason for that. But the coin is tilted back slightly, so it's going to have a little bit of an odd perspective to it. But that can all be fixed in Photoshop, and it can be done automatically. So now I need to find some way to lock my camera in place, but also be able to take the camera back out. I'm not going to tape my camera down. So I figured the first thing I'm going to do is make a forward bump stop to keep the camera from going past a certain point. So I went back to the cardboard flip box. Now this is the top of the flip box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and cut it roughly in half. And then I'm going to take that half and I'm going to cut it in half. And if you'll notice now, I can make a little, kind of like a little cup for the camera lens to sit in. All right, so I'm going to trim it to shape so that they don't overlap. Nice and perfect there. And now that I've got that shape, I'm going to tape it thoroughly. All right, so I'm going to cover this in tape and make literally just a little cup. Now, I want to be able to see out of the camera, so I'm going to cut this little chunk out of my front stop. Now, don't try to do this with scissors. It'll be a horrible time. What I ended up doing is I just grabbed a knife and cut it. Literally just cut it so that it, you know, I mean, what else is there to say? I just cut it out. And now we're going to find a good place to put it so that the camera can be focused, zoomed into, I'm not going to push it any further than 35 millimeter focal length on there. I don't want to have the camera switch to some digital zoom and lose data, lose clarity or anything like that. So I'm sticking with a 35 millimeter aperture or whatever. And now I'm going to thoroughly tape my little bump stop down, as you can see in these pictures. And that basically makes it so that if I take the camera out and I'm zoomed, I use the zoom to go to 35 millimeter, I can literally just put the camera right back in, and that's roughly what I will see. And that's good. That's pretty good. I mean, I could have gotten closer if I'd wanted to, but I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to take pictures of larger things too in this same setup, as well as smaller things. Now, I need to also lock the sides and back of the camera in place, so we're just going to go back to our top half of our box, and we're going to just cut some corners off of it, and just put the camera where it's supposed to be, and then put the stops in and go ahead and tape them down. All right, so hopefully you should be getting a pretty good idea from these pictures here that I'm zooming through relatively quickly. So anyways, this is what I ended up with right here. Okay, I just kind of picked it up and stood it up so you can see. But if I set it down, put the camera in, zoom to 35 millimeters, and I get a perfect picture. And so here's a real quick video to show you what it looks like, more or less. And basically you can move the lighting around, adjust where your overhead light is to get the best picture possible. And you're going to have to play with that a little bit to figure out where your overhead light should sit in order to take a good photograph of your coin. But in this case, it's pretty self-explanatory. I just kind of set it over top of it. And but it is off to the side, as you can see in this next picture. And I will end up actually adjusting that. I don't want it to be off to the side. But anyways, this is pretty much it. And from here we go to Photoshop itself after we take a bunch of pictures. And just to give you an idea as to how quickly you can zip through these photographs, I did record a little video of myself actually doing it. So if you look here, you'll see, just set it down, slide a new one in, snap a picture, cha-chink, flip it over, snap a picture, cha-chink. Everything is rock solid. Nothing is sliding around or moving. It's all just cha-chink. Right there you go. And flip it over, cha-chink. So I'm not a good maker of videos, but I am a good Photoshop editor. I've been doing it for decades, actually, since the early issues of Photoshop, and it was fairly easy for me to make an automated action that basically sucks the pictures in, adjust the distortion on them so that they actually are straight, and applies an overlay and then exports them out. But this is a good starting point for you, I would think. So go from here, and maybe you can find your own solution. Anyways, this is a quick 10-minute video, so hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, just drop me a line, leave a message in the comments, And there you go. Take it easy.